I do. Here we are on a little tour of Blackburn. I'm off to Asda, the supermarket owned by Walmart. I'm just getting a few bits and pieces as I recall. 11th of October, this is a ride I did last year. Just getting round to uploading it. As you can see, autumn's underway. Currently, today's date that I'm recording this speech is the 13th of February 2015. Friday the 13th. Not superstitious. Just finished for a week now, off for half term, so that's good. Enjoy our time off together. So, sit back, enjoy the ride. I'll keep the original soundtrack of the bike rather than music. And if there's anything to point out, I'll shoot it back. Bye for now. That wasn't long, I'm back. Just to say that it's obviously mid-afternoon this. All manages temporary traffic lights here. Yeah, I recall this now. Don't know what they were doing. I think it was electricity perhaps. It's a really, really bad road when it's peak rush hour. It really does back up right to the motorway, which is in the opposite direction to which we're travelling now. So we're passing Royal Blackburn Hospital just up here, beyond this roundabout. This is where I work. I worked there since 1991, when it was actually Queen's Park Hospital. Back then, it became Royal Blackburn in 2006, when it was a single site hospital. So this is Haslingden Road. Just heading down to Asda. As you can see, the road's in pretty bad shape. It's not any better today. In fact, it's worse. Obviously, it's not going to improve. The speed camera there, although it's a dummy, I've never seen a camera inside it yet. So you just got to be aware. So this is a bad bit there. Kentucky Fried there on your left. So just going down Haslingden Road now. A big school, a new school on the right hand side. That's the opening to it. Many of the locals call it a fire station because it's red. It certainly does stick out. Another camera that's speed camera there just past Gatso. Again, I've not seen a camera inside it, but you know, third gear, just hold it nice and steady. It'll stay. I'm doing 30 miles an hour there, as you can see on the speedometer. They do. There's talk that they allow 10%. I know you, Brian, you were talking about how accurate your speedometer were with your, you'd calibrated it with your phone, your sat nav, Well, and I believe he said Canada is around about 10% inaccurate. Well, ours are as well, and that's done for a reason, obviously, so that if you're doing 30, you're actually doing 27 miles an hour, so that it's always under. So whether they do actually allow 10% now, it's all down to whether you were riding or driving without due care and attention, whether in fact you're done, and it all depends a lot of time on the mood of the police officer, I guess. But yeah, it just sticks to the speed limit. It's the best way. I actually went to the post office first. I've just realised this. Makes sense because of the road layout. We're just about to cross the Wainwright Bridge, named after the writer Alfred Wainwright, the famous man of the Lake District fell walking. So currently that road to the left there, that's Bolton Road, it's currently being resurfaced, so that's really good news, because that was a road that was in really bad shape. Potholes, it was actually collapsing, there was no white lining, all that had worn away, so it's quite a wide road coming from the left, if you will, and he didn't know which lane to be in because you couldn't see the white lines. It's ridiculous. Anyway, it's been resurfaced now, so finally. So this bridge goes over the train lines that goes from it's the goes to Preston and over to the east through Blackburn, Burnley and beyond. This is Byram Street. Now this, when I was at school, I went to school at St Wilfrid's, which was along here on the left. It's now been demolished. The traffic came the other way. In fact, I seem to remember it being two-way, but now it's one way, this way. And that bridge, that Wainwright Bridge, is going to link up to a brand new road that they're going to build, and all that on the right there is part of the works. It's going to be a massive job. A lot of demolished buildings, some that was apparently listed, but when commerce takes over, the listed status doesn't mean a thing, obviously. Blackburn's got rid of a lot of historic buildings over the last 40 years, really, 40, 50 years. Really sad. Lots of other towns have kept their identity and kept their historic buildings and modernised them, and sort of brought them into the 20th and 21st century. Well, Blackburn just likes to knock things down. So, yeah. So this road to your left is Montague Street. Quite a busy street. Comes if you go left there, that takes you to where Blackburn College is. That was my email, by the way. I should put my phone on silent. So this road here is going up towards this is Freckleton Street, and soon to be arriving at the post office sorting office. I think I must have had a parcel that that had been the attempted delivery, and they hadn't. We were out working, so I hadn't. They take it to this depot here, sorting office. I used to work here. I weren't there long. Back in 1990, as a postman. I seem to remember, actually, thinking about this, although I'd given it 24 hours, yeah, I'd given it 24 hours, and the parcel was nowhere to be seen, so they couldn't find it. So very annoyed about that. But I can't remember exactly what the item was at this moment. But needless to say, after going down and attempting to retrieve my parcel, it wasn't there. So now this is Canterbury Street, very, very congested street. I mean, it's really, really bad, because there's all these places on the left here, car maintenance places and whatnot, and as you can see, they've got keep clear, but by the time you've kept all these places clear, of course there's not much room for vehicles. So you know, there's only maybe, you know, a few vehicles, but it's the queue is a lot longer, because you know, if they've done it right, they've left spaces. This is Darwin Street Bridge in front. It was top of my head, it was built in 18 something. It's marked on the stone. I can't remember. It was actually completely renovated quite a few years ago now. It looks as though it could do with another repaint. Now, whether Network Rail, I think they're in charge of that kind of work, whether they're going to do it remains to be seen. But it's a fantastic piece of Victorian engineering, and it's still here all these years later. And when you think it used to carry steam trains, which are a lot heavier than what they are today, it's carried some weight. And this is coming up towards Grimshaw Park, or Grimshaw Park, as we call it. Just enjoying a cup of coffee, and a cake. So here we are, arriving. We'll turn off for Asda. Being on a motorcycle's very handy. Park right next to the store. It's about time they repainted that roundabout there. And recently, I think it's probably a year or two back, completely altered this car park. It's a lot better. some car parks of supermarkets are really dangerous because people, of course, people drive like they do outside. You know, it's still at bloody 30 mile an hour. So you've got to be aware of these cars parked, especially with their arse ends sticking out. You've got to be aware of cars backing out and hitting you. Right, so we've arrived at Asda. Gonna nip in now and get what I needed to get, and okay, back in the mall. Now then, so the story is, I rang the post office to complain about the fact that I couldn't, you know, my parcel wasn't there, they couldn't find it. Unfortunately, there was a guy down at the sorting office who had actually found it on the vehicle. So what he'd have done on the vehicle, the driver hadn't taken it off, so I think he was going to have a word with him. So anyway, the story is that he was waiting on, which was very kind of him, before going home, because of course this is Saturday, I think it is. So he waited, so I said, right, I'm on my way back. So this is going a different way. This is on North Road, and this is Audley Range, part of Blackburn, infamous part of Blackburn. Now, as you can see, they've got speed cushions. They call them speed cushions on this road. There, on either side of the road. Now, they've got those down on the road for one reason, because unfortunately the children in the area, mostly of Asian origin, do not know how to cross the road. So what they do, instead of making sure that the children know the rules of the road like we were taught when we were children, we used to have the Green Cross Code and the Tufty Club. I know that sounds old-fashioned now, but you know, it worked. Children, we were taught not to cross and not to run into the road. Very dangerous. You can imagine how dangerous it is with all these parked vehicles. So, rather than tackle that, what they do, they put speed humps and speed cushions down the road. And it's a main road, this. There are other areas of Blackburn. For instance, I can think of Lizard Branch Road, which is a main road like this, and there are no speed cushions. So you can come to, you know, make your own conclusion there. So what they do, they hammer the motorists first. So the motorist is forced to slow down. Now the thing is, most riders and drivers are sensible, are responsible people, and the ones that aren't going to worry about speed cushions and speed humps, because more often than not, it's not their car. They've stolen it, and it's not insured. But the rest of us have to, you know, we have to be told to slow down, and we won't be driving fast anyway, because it's a built-up area, and you drive and ride to the conditions. Simple. Right, so here we are. This is just coming down to Lower Audley, over the canal, Leeds and Liverpool Canal there. I believe all this has been resurfaced since this was done, so that's good. It's not too bad there where we are there, but further down it was quite bad. just no maintenance. It's quite a busy road. So there's some Pizza Hut and another restaurant, and you've got on the left here, the building on the left, that's the ice arena. As you can see, we're back to the Darwin Street Bridge, railway bridge, coming under it in a different direction this time, of course, going back to the post office. On your left there, where the cars and buses coming down, that's Great Bolton Street, and it eventually carries on. If you went left, that runs into Bolton Road. It turns it, you know, from Great Bolton Street to Bolton Road, and that's the A666. Rather unfortunate number for a road. 666 if you're superstitious. So the trees are turning autumn now. There's really nice. I mean, it doesn't seem possible that we're literally a month, maybe 5-6 weeks away from spring now, which is great. Love spring. All new growth, daffodils. Love to see daffodils. I think it's my favourite time of the year, because we've had a long winter where we've hardly been out on the bike, and then all of a sudden the weather turns, the clocks go back at the end of March, so the days are longer. So we're back at the post office, and the chap here very kindly meeting up with me.
Are you Stuart? How you doing? Yeah. Thank you very much.
Absolutely great. So I've got my parcel, or my little package, and I'm on my way home now. Yeah, it brings memories back. I think I was on a Kawasaki GT 750 back then. So right, so we're going over Wainwright Bridge the other way now, going home for change. It's a nice bridge. It looks, there's some beautiful photographs of it on the old Tinterweb. And here are some photographs showing the various stages of construction. Quite a big job. And this is the result, the completed bridge. So here we are, just at the end of the bridge, just about to turn into Bolton Road. As I said, just beyond these traffic lights, they're actually resurfacing this road now, so that's really, really good news. You probably gathered that I get rather annoyed at these roads of ours. They're a disgrace, really. Bad enough on the bike, but in the car it's awful, because the car is constantly banging. You're worried about your wheels being damaged, your alloys. I know you said Michigan, you know, where you're from, Brian. I know you said that it was just like that there. It's just a joke. It really is. So this is Highfield Road. A lot of property knocked down here. This land on your right there, that's there used to be houses like they are on the left there, what they call terraced houses, built at the beginning of the 20th century, and some at the end of the 19th century. It's quite old housing, but gradually they're being replaced by modern houses like on the right here. Now this is Grimshire Park. This is quite a busy road, but the mini roundabout there, some call them egg whites. You know, the round painted circle, but the mini roundabouts, that's the correct term there. He was looking, wasn't he, bastard? That's one of the reasons, apart from recording the rides, you know, every ride now I put the camera on, no matter how far around here, how long or how short the ride. You're always better wearing it, because you just never know. And sadly, accidents are more likely to happen local to your area, rather than on a long ride. So we're coming up Haslam Road now, back towards that's the school on the left. This is the main entrance to it. BC, I can't remember what it's called. Blackburn County. So coming up to what used to be this entrance to the hospital used to be the main entrance, and it was quite a spot. It used to be an old lodge house just there on the right, just beyond the gates, where everybody was checked in, so to speak. So I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of Blackburn. There's an awful lot of history in Blackburn. If you go on to Cotton Town, that's a very, very good website. Lots of interesting information about the history of Blackburn. Yeah, so check it out. So anyway, please comment, and if you could like and subscribe and give us a thumbs up, that would be great. Just coming into the hospital here, I seem to remember actually going, that's A&E there, emergency entrance, accident and emergency. And up there to the left, that's the main entrance. So there's a bit, you've got to be a bit wary here of vehicles flying out the car park. This is Bank Lane. Again, that road used to go right through to where the Kentucky Fried was, or is, now the hospital, new hospital, sort of stands in its way. Here we are on Shadsworth Road. So it's time to sign off. As I said, please comment. Really appreciate your comments, and like and subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Okay, bye for now.